The great object of my present publication has been to explain with perspicuity the science of pugilism, and it has been my endeavor to offer no precepts which will not be brought to bear in practice, and it will give me particular satisfaction and pleasure to understand that I have attained my first object by having taught any man an easy, regular system of so useful an art as that of boxing.
Hey YouTube, it's Chris Dyer here at Reborn Martial Arts in Springfield, Virginia, and we are coming at you with part 3 on Daniel Mendoza's Art of Boxing from 1792, continuing on with our series on pugilism and bare knuckle boxing. Okay, so we're going to get into lesson number 4 now. So in his manual, he does lessons both one side, so call it right-sided, left-sided. We're going to, again, just like our previous video, skip the second part of the drill. Just if you're practicing this or you want to understand it fully, all you do is just switch everything. So the master in the drill does a right-handed punch, then they're going to do a left-handed punch, and the student in the drill does the follow-up strikes just left-handed. We're going to skip those for brevity and just cover one side. So we're going to get started with this. This section, lesson number 4, is about parries and riposte. So another going back to fencing method of boxing. This is just like we use in fencing methods. I parry, I riposte. I parry, I riposte. And we're going to look at it from a couple different ways, introducing a new strike today. So the master in lesson 1 does a left-handed jab to the face. Mike is going to clear this out the way, covering his midsection, and then he follows up with a blow to my face. So we're going to do a couple of these. I do left jab, left jab, left jab. Nothing too fancy here. He's just parry, riposte, parry, riposte. Let's talk about timing. When we do this one, if he can block this and then he can throw his strike, so a sort of delayed strike, kind of looking for my openings. He can shoot to do them at the same time, so pop, pop, in one motion. Or he can start throwing that strike and then defend that along the way. So depending on the situation, all 3 of those things apply for a riposte. The next one is I'm going to do a left jab to his stomach, so along the same lines. He's going to do this mid-block and then follow-up strike to my face again. So we're here, mid-block, follow-up strike, mid-block, strike. Or we'll do one more, switch. Nothing too complicated there. And the third one is I'm going to do a round strike towards his ribs. Think about like floating ribs or liver punch. And he's going to drop that elbow down like we've covered in the blocking part of these lessons. And then he's going to, again, follow up strike with the other hand. So we're here, drop it down, boom, we go for the strike. Got him. Boom. Nice and simple, just like that. So now we're going to get into 4, 5, and 6, which have something a little unique. So we're going to do what's called the chop, or the chopper, which is what it's called later on. So this strike was introduced a couple decades before Mendoza's time, and it became a pretty popular strike because you're doing this covering and then extending your arm out. It's a very fast, very fluid type of follow-up riposte. So it's called the chopper. So as the instructor, I'm going to do a chopper towards Mike's face. So if he doesn't do anything, I take this guard and I bring this straight down the back of the hand towards the flat of the nose. I can go towards lips. I can go for the bridge of the eye right around here. It kind of depends on the situation, but I'm striking downward like so. This is the chopper. Mike is then going to do his block, and then he's going to do one block it out the way, and then he's going to follow up strike just like so. So we'll do a couple of these. Boom, boom, strike it down, he clears out the way. He moves his head out the way, he moves his body out the way, he covers, and then he does the follow-up strike with the same hand. Now I'm going to do a left hand blow towards Mike's stomach. He's going to drop his arm down with this. So he's going to, we'll go slow. You're going to do, I'm punching left, so he's going to block right. He's blocking down. And then he follows up with a chopper of his own. He's coming chopping down, boom, like so. So the parry riposte is with the same hand on this case. So we'll do one more of those, block, and then he comes back down. So it's a round rolling strike, like so. And then the last part of this is going to be the same strike. So I'm going to give another left jab towards Mike's stomach. He's going to bar it the same way he did last time. And then he's going to give me a straight blow. So the fist coming straight back towards my face. like so. That's it. So this is lesson 4. We're introducing chopper. We're introducing the idea of parry riposte, either with the opposite hand. So you can do this in tempo, meaning parry riposte, parry riposte. This is why if you do these, you prefer kind of these outward blocks so that you can do this at the same time. It's harder to do them if you do mid block. So I'm going to demonstrate on Mike. He throws a punch. If I punch in. If I block this like so, it's going to be harder for me to do this riposte. It's possible, but it's just harder to do. So if I can cover out this direction, that riposte is a little bit easier. And then we have riposte with the same arm. So if I block, I can do a straight punch, or I can block and I can do this rolling strike. All right, so stay tuned, and we'll look at lesson number 5 in just a second. Okay, so now let's cover lesson 5. This is getting more complex. So you're doing multiple strikes going different target regions. You're doing same side crossbody strikes. It just gets more complex. So we're going to break it down a little bit more detailed. We're going to be using some numbers to kind of help explain some things. So if we say 1, 2, it's kind of outward blocks or inward blocks. And then we're going to be doing a lot of rolling fists. So we're going to talk it through real slow. So this actually starts with the student throwing the strikes first. So they're learning to not only throw strikes, but riposte after I parry. So it's going to be Mike throws a left to my face, which I'm going to cover with my right. He throws a right, I'm going to cover with my left. And now I'm going to use the same hand, back fist this direction. He's going to parry it with his left, and then same side, strike this way, which is kind of nice because he's barring both my hands. If we go through the slow, boom, boom, I do a back fist through here. Mike parries it out the way. I'm now barred off. He's cut off my lines of attack. We've talked about this in some of our other videos. And then he sends it down with a back fist again. We'll do that one more time. Strike, cover, cover. I'm going to throw my left. Mike covers and then throws his left. All right, so let's look at the next one. Okay, so the next part of this is a 1, 2, 3 from the student, left, right, left at my face. I will parry, right, left, right. And then I'm going to riposte low. Mike will then parry this and do a follow-up high. So we're going to go again super, super slow. He does left, right, left at my face. I will parry, parry, parry. Notice our hands are covering our midsections. I'm going to do my riposte low. He bars this and then comes over the top with that left. We'll go slow through this again. Parry, 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 down, and then there's the strike. Notice our hands are coming back to this guard position. Let's do it one more time. Block it, block, block, low, strike, like so. All right, let's get into the next one. Okay, like I said, it's getting more complicated. So this one, we'll talk you through it nice and slow. I'll talk Mike through this nice and slow. Yeah. All right, so he's going to give me a left, right, and then low. Left, right, left, low. So high, high, low. High, high, low. I'm going to block them. Right, left, right. And then I give 2 follow-up strikes. Mike doesn't do anything else. I strike, strike like so. And we reset. Now, the student portion of this, they don't let me strike. We're just checking, making sure you guys at home see what's happening. So he does left, right, left, 1, 2, and then he's going to do 2 follow-up strikes of his own. Let's do a couple of these. Left, right, left, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, sorry. Left, left comes left, right, left. Oh, let's try it again. Left, right, left, left, right, left, 1, 2, 1, 2, like so. All right, let's look at the next one. Okay, so this next one is actually really fun. It becomes a nice flow drill. Both the master and the student are doing the same thing to each other. They're just switching roles, and this can become like a nice flow drill, so you can go back and forth with your partner. So Michael started out with a 1, 2 to my face, and then 3 low, kind of like the last exercise. And then as the other person, you're going to parry those and then give the exact same in response. So 2 high and then low. So he's going to do left. I'm going to parry it. Right. I'm going to parry it. He goes left. I parry this down, and then I do left, right, left. He's going to parry them, and then we're back at this. We're here. Pow, pow, pow. Back and forth, and you can see how this just becomes a flow drill. All right, we got one more. Let's take a look at it. All right, our last one for today. This is actually probably the easiest one on this set. So Mike is going to face me. He's going to give me a left to the face. I parry this. I do my low strike. I'm here. he's going to parry this down with his right and then return with a straight blow. So that was rolling fist, a straight blow. So block, boom, straight in from where he is. So you block it down and then straight blow in. Again, parry, parry, and then go. Left, I block it with my right, I riposte with my left, and he goes 1-2 straight on in. Let's do one more time. Boom, like so. And so that's the last of the lessons for part 5. Again, with these, we took out the do everything the same on the opposite side, which if you're practicing this and you want to actually understand the full system, you practice both sides. So that's part of Mendoza's thing. You want to be equally balanced on both sides. Practice your left, practice your right. Move forward with your right, move forward with your left. You want to have this equilibrium and this ability to flow between one side and the other side. These are actually really great drills, just kind of getting used to getting punched at, parrying, blocking, being in it, basically being in range, making sure that you're in contact range. There's a lot of really, really good stuff here. The idea of flowing from block to parry with the same hand or straight blow after making contact. Some actually really, really interesting stuff. Mike and I were just talking about this. Is this a full departure from fencing? We are very close from a full departure from fencing. I think there's a lot of stuff still kind of playing with the same fencing, boxing methodology of parry riposte, of positioning, but there are a lot of unique things in Mendoza's system. And we're going to see some more in the next video that we do, which will cover lesson 6 and then some of his free play type of stuff. So stay tuned. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we'll catch you next time.